Right. You and me. You and me, buddy. What's up, guys? Brian here with my son. I just figured I'd do a live stream today. There's a few things I wanted to kind of get you guys' opinion on and, maybe kind of shed some light on what my opinion is on the whole, some of the things that are going on right now. And I wanted to discuss a little bit about the poll that I did and see what, it's easier to discuss everything. What's up, Bobby? What's up, Joey? What's up, Richard? The new driver's working out great. He came in today. He put in, today was kind of a short shift. I trained him up on how to do grindings. And, we got rained out. So we did the grinding today. We were supposed to do the paving.
Yep.
But we didn't do the paving because it was pouring down rain. It was like literally monsooning. What's up, Beast and Farms? What's up, Dean? So you guys having riots? I guess there was some riots in Seattle. It's a Democrat city, so obviously there's gonna be riots and burning and stuff like that, Yeah, big muddy days are ahead. And so I asked him, hey, you want to work tomorrow, Sunday, since we got rained out, and he told me that it was his son's birthday. I'm like, okay, don't even sweat it, man. I got it, So, he's gonna be spending time with his family, It's his son's birthday, which he should be, Jen, that's cool, man. What kind of super dump? Let me go back and catch up with these comments. You guys blew it out of the water here. How's the new driver? He's working out amazing so far. So anyways, I just wanted to touch on, I wanted to talk about the whole washing the truck thing, but you guys also brought up the whole rioting thing that's going on. I want to talk a little bit about that too, because that's a little bit on my mind. There's just so many things we don't really know, A lot of people just jump to conclusions, when they see these riots and stuff. And they see that, the first thing they see, is the news saying, oh, white cop kills black dude, they always pull the race card immediately. Even though there was like 2 or 3 Asians standing right there too. It's always white and black. I like, the white guy is the devil, man. Sometimes I feel like everybody's always saying that, Do I agree that the cop murdered the guy? He definitely used excessive force, but there's some things you have to take into consideration. Like, okay, we don't know what that cop goes through on a daily basis, We don't know what, that guy was going through on a daily basis. We don't know the circumstances. All we seen was a small little clip showing the cop, kneeling on the dude's throat, right? So, it's hard to make a real judgment about that. You can't really stand on any sort of political high ground and say, oh, this is racism, or this is police brutality, or this is, there's so many things. You don't know anything, really. Like, you and me, we don't know nothing. We weren't there. All we can see is what was on the video. And I can just tell you right now, you can make something look completely what it isn't just by doing a video. You know, you can, like, I do it all the time. Like, you know, everything looks like roses and stuff, but deep down, it's not roses all the time, you know? And there's a lot of YouTube channels out there that only do that, you know? I try and show you guys the real deal, you know, on this channel. Right? Am I showing them the real deal?
Yep.
Yep. You know? So, we only know what we know, you know? And apparently, you know, the guy that got killed, George, he had underlying health conditions. The cop, there's no way he's gonna know that kind of stuff, you know? There's no way a cop is just gonna be looking at the guy and be like, oh, yeah, he has, you know, this underlying health condition. There's no way. You can never know that kind of thing, you know, just by looking at somebody, you know? So, I don't know, you know? It's hard to say if the cop really is at 100% fault. Is he at fault? Yes, I believe he does need to take some sort of, you know, responsibility for what happened. Because the guy was obviously pleading for his life, you know, which you could see that clearly. And, you know, but at the same time, if you're a cop, you know, if you give them any sort of room, they're going to take a mile, you know. It's fight or flight. You just know that. Like, that's human instinct. Like, if you give a perpetrator any ground, they're going to take advantage of that. They're going to exploit that to the most that they can. So, it's a catch-22 every single time. You either, you know, it's a psychological battle when you're trying to arrest somebody. You're trying to portray that you have so much force that there's no chance of escape. But you got to show that without actually doing it, right? It's so hard, you know? I'm not a cop. I can't be a cop because I'm the type of guy, if somebody was resisting, there's no way. There's no, and it doesn't matter what color they are, I would lay the smack down. You know, that's just who I am. You know, because that's just who I am. Like, I would not give any room, you know? When you start giving people room for stuff, that's when bad things happen. That's when they pull a knife out that you didn't see. That's when they pull a gun out that you didn't see. You know, that's when they get away, right? I mean, so there's, I'm not saying he was right, and I'm not saying he was wrong, but it looked like he was in the wrong, but I don't know everything. So I'm just, that's all I'm going to say. Now, I want to talk about the whole truck washing thing because I did a poll on that, and you know, I'm getting some hate and I'm getting some love, and I just want to clear the water here about the whole washing the truck thing, right? This is how it went down, and Brandon will tell you the same thing. If we get him on a live stream, this is how it went down.
This went down. I
said, I'm going to wash the truck today. He said, okay, how we do that? And I said, you can help if you want to off the clock. Those are my exact words. Those were my exact words. I said, you can help if you want to off the clock. Other than that, go home. You're done. That, you know, good job. Thank you for the work. Okay. He said, no, don't worry about it. I'll help out. I want to help. You know, he stayed. I gave him the easy job. He was just doing the pressure washing. I was using the thing. It's not like I went and pulled out a lawn chair and just kicked my feet back and had a beer while he was washing the truck in front of me. That is not what happened, okay? And I know a lot of you guys are trying to make it sound like that's what happened. That is not what happened. I was out there with him washing the damn truck, right? So there's a big difference when you guys say, well, you always need to pay this. You can't let him do that. Yes, you can. But don't pull out a lawn chair and... Why is that dude so small? What dude? That's my son. He's only... Show him how old you are.
5.
5 years old. Toast boy. That's funny. My dad works for you? Who's your dad? Let me catch up. Sorry, I missed some of these. 05 T100 strong. And Jen, have you had any problems with it? And what's been your experience? If you're still on. They were throwing bricks from the overpass in Columbus. Thankfully, my milling job was on the outside of town, but I always keep my CCW on me in case. Hell yeah, Blake. And you guys see it in all my videos now, because I'm not trying to hide that stuff. I always carry, man. If somebody is threatening my life or my livelihood, which is my life, yeah. I mean, if I feel like my life is in danger, I'm shooting. There's no question about it. There's no question about it. If I feel my life is possibly in danger, I'm going to try and run. And if running is not an option, I'm shooting. And it's not a thing about being a coward or not. It's just, that's my right. And that, you know, it sucks that the world we live in that you have to explain yourself that way. But that's the way it is, you know. Worst, like the ultimate last thing I do is I'm shooting. Because you got to know every single bullet has a lawyer attached to it, you know. Which it sucks we live in that world, but that's what we live in. Yeah, I got my muscle with me today. I always say you can work a guy like a dog as long as you're right next to him doing the same thing. Amen, work life. Amen. You know, that is so true right there. You know, you cannot be a taskmaster if you're not doing the task. You know, that I agree 100% on that, you know. As long as you're there with them doing it, they will feel, you know, that you actually care. They will feel that, you know, they're not in this alone. They will feel that, you know, you actually do care, you know. $77 Nobu YT oil. I'm just curious, why is your channel name like that? I always pay my driver to wash my truck. And that's totally fine. You know, I did not ask him to wash the truck at all. I said, I'm washing the truck. And he said, how does that work? And I said, you know, you can stay and help off the clock if you want. If not, go home. I'm done paying you for the day, you know. And he stayed after because he wanted to show gratitude, you know, because of the opportunity that I'm giving him. You know, there's so many things you can show gratitude for. And I came from the same mindset a lot of you guys came from. I ain't washing that truck unless I'm getting paid. You know why? You know why you had that attitude? Because your employer didn't give a crap about you. That's why you have that attitude. I don't give a crap about them because they don't care about me. I don't care if the company succeeds or not. I just want my paycheck and split. That's the negative attitude a lot of you guys have. You know, and I'm not saying a lot of you are negative. I'm just saying that's what a lot of people have. You know. How often do you wash your trucks? I try and wash them if it's going to be sunny for at least a week or something like that. You know, it's going to be extended. I don't feel like washing it right before driving into a mud puddle. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, right? I'm not that dedicated to washing my stuff. But I am the type of guy that, hey, please don't draw on the windows. Here, you can use this. Just wipe the window with that. You pay yourself in beer, Blake. I was the same guy, you know. I never washed trucks. I kept the cab clean because I don't like to be in nastiness, right? And the company is never going to hire somebody to clean the inside of the truck. They never will do that. You know, that's your responsibility when you're on the clock. Keep the dang truck clean on the inside because That's your environment. That's what you're breathing 24/7. You know, when you're in the truck, if there's dust everywhere, you're breathing that dust, you know? So that's on you. That's not on your employer. There's a cabin air filter, you know? So I always kept the truck clean on the inside whenever I was working, you know, to the best of my ability. I always have, you know, like a little trash bag, you know, hanging up where you can put trash in there, and I always emptied it when it got full, you know. But I was not the type of guy to wash the truck ever. And then I went to work for this company, Big Rigs, you guys all know. They literally have the nicest tanker trucks on the road. Like, no, I've never seen a nicer tanker truck. I give them that, 100%. I'll give them that. Never seen a nicer tanker truck. And when I was going through my training, the guy that did my training, one of my best friends now. He's one of my best friends. Hey, keep your shirt down. He said, Brian, the owners will take notice if you go the extra mile. You know, that's what he said. He said, you'll make it far in this company if you show them that you're thankful. How do I do it? I stay after and I wash the cab. You know, not every single day, but I do wash the cab. I keep the truck clean. And, you know, they do notice that. They freaking notice that, you know. And everybody at that company that had been there for an extended period of time, guess what? They all did it. They all washed the trucks. They all polished the trucks off the clock. Did they feel resentment? No. No. They were thankful for being able to drive the nicest truck ever in Washington. You know, like, that's just the way it went, you know. That's how they showed their gratitude. And I did the same thing, you know, because I'm like, you know what? You're right, dude. This really is the nicest truck. They put $1,000 leather seat in here that's heated. They got, you know, all the chrome switches. They got all the chrome gauges. They got the chrome tanker with, you know, the 3M wrap on it to keep it looking shiny 24/7. You know, they went the extra mile to make me look like a freaking rock star when I was out there. Hey, are you getting bored? Are you ready to go inside? No? Okay. You just seem like you're getting bored. So, you know, we went the extra mile. And my poll clearly shows that, you know. If you add up the numbers on the poll, you'll see like 25% of people say, yes, I stay after off the clock and wash the truck. The other percentage, they don't. They don't get it, right? They have a different mindset, you know. They have the other mindset, you know, that I don't care if the employer succeeds or not. That's basically what I think. You know, that's my opinion. I think if you don't stay after and wash the truck, then you don't care about the company's image at all, you know, or you just don't want to help them with their image. You know, you don't understand the concept that if they win, I win. That's what you're missing, right? That's why if you have this idea of if the company wins, I win, you will win. Like every time I've had that mindset, for the most part, I have made more money. I have been happier, you know. And that's another reason why I started my own business. Because there was a few companies where I felt like I was going the extra mile and I didn't get what I thought I deserved. And did I actually deserve it? Maybe I did deserve it. Maybe the company was being greedy. But guess what? They lost out on me as an employee, right? That I was going the extra mile. So here's what it comes down to. If you have employees that go the extra mile, you got to see that. You got to go the extra mile for those employees. You know, the ones that go the extra, You got to go the extra. If they don't care what your truck looks like, then guess what? You know, like Justin says, they don't care about you. Guess what? You don't care about them either. They're just a number. You know, and that's how a lot of people run their businesses. I'm not going to run my business that way. You know, I want my employees to care. I want them to treat it like it's their own truck. I want them to take care of it. You know, just like I take care of my own stuff. And I want them to know that if I win, they win. You know, and I know a lot of you guys don't get that. A lot of you business owners think that the employee's only out there to screw you. I don't think that's the case. I think a lot of employees, you know, they have a good heart, but as soon as you screw them over, they turn cold. You know, so that's what it comes down to, you know. You got to keep them happy, and they'll keep you happy. You know, that's the way it goes. Right, son? I keep you happy, you keep me happy. Right? Let's catch up on these comments. I feel like when I wash my trucks, it brings the rain. You're right, Blake. Like, we washed the truck the other day, and we were in the mud today. I was telling Brad, I'm like, man, that kind of sucked. Like, we spent all that time, and, you know. But here's what I said. Here's what I said to him. I said, we did make an amazing first impression, though. Because how many people were staring at the truck? Boom, right there. That matters, you know. That really does matter, you know. Your first impressions, you only get one chance to make a first impression. When it's your first day working for a customer, you make sure that truck is clean and you make sure there are no problems. And guaranteed they will call you again, you know. He does it every day. Yes, he does. Sup, Jacob? It is your brother's birthday tomorrow, you know, and no, it's Brandon's son's birthday tomorrow. We had work for tomorrow, and I told Brandon, I said, don't even worry about it. You stay home with the family. You go celebrate the birthday party. That's more important than doing the paving on Sunday. I got that covered, you know. Keep the AC cold and the truck nice, everyone's happy. So you're really not a truck driver. I don't know what that means, Joey. Who are you talking to? Talking to you guys, Bill. I'm talking to all the people that are trying to give me crap for allowing my employee to wash the truck off the clock. Brandon's working to get his name on that driver's door. There you go, Blake. See, there's things. See, that's another thing right there. A lot of companies will not do that because they have such a high turnover. You know, they don't want you to take pride in anything. You know, our drivers don't understand that if they break the truck, they are out of work until it's fixed. And work life, a lot of guys don't understand that. Can I get mods? Please, my dad works for you. What's mods? Oh, you want to be a moderator? Just because, we'll work on that. We'll work on that. We call it the blue wrench around here because we're kind of mechanically inclined. Just because you drive a dump truck don't mean you're a rock. Oh. Joey. I am good at Fortnite. I've never played that game. I know you'll make it up to him in the long run. My driver would wash the truck every day if I'd buy him a new one. I agree with you. Take care of your... Okay, Justin orders trucks based on his employees' needs. Yeah, I mean... And guaranteed they take better care of it because he does that, Brian. You know, and a lot of the guys you know, that are company owners, they understand, you know, you got to take care of your employees and they'll take care of you, you know, that's just the way it goes, you know. And have I given him incentives? Yes, I have, you know, but I don't need to be broadcasting that to you guys, what I'm doing, you know, I don't need to tell you guys that stuff, you know, what I'm doing. Just know that, you know, if he's happy, I'm happy. We got a new truck a few months ago and the bumper is bent already. Dang. Dang. Nice on 5.2K. I'm guessing that's the subscribers that I got now. Yeah, the channel's blowing up. It's really, it's going high. It's going hot. You know, and that's because I take a lot of time to do good videos and put out really good information that really help people in business. I'm 18. I'm wanting to start my own dump truck company. How much money do you need to start realistically? Nick, it depends where you're located. It depends where the market's at. It depends on how hard of a worker you are. It depends on how much risk you want to take. There's so many variables in starting a dump truck company. For me, if I were to do it all over again, realistically, to be more comfortable, you know, it's a catch-22 though. The more money you have, the less drive you will have to find work, it seems like. I'd work for you if I wasn't a millionaire. No, that's funny. No problem here. My husband says maintain it and you shouldn't have problems. But we think it's bullcrap, the problems you've dealt with so far. Yeah. Right? Yeah, so what would you say with maintenance? What are some of the maintenance things you guys do regularly to maintain the strong arm or the computer? Do you guys do updates and that kind of thing, or what? Yeah, I think it's BS too. I mean, with how much money I paid, and they still haven't gotten it fixed. It still has the thing where it, you know, we didn't have the problem today. It did not act up today. It went up every single time today. But, you know, it's just like, it's in the back of our mind. Like, when's this thing not going to go up? You know, when are we going to have to hop out and fiddle with the solenoid for it to go up? You know? It's stressful. You know, I'm moving to Washington. Yeah, Blake, did you get that mud flap taken care of? Okay, back to Nick Jensick. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce your last name, Nick, but so realistically, once you have your truck, have 20,000. That's what I would say. 20 to 30,000, you know, realistically, that would be nice. You know, you wouldn't be as stressed out. You know, you won't be, you know, you'll still have that drive to work. You know, I started with my dump truck. I paid $8,000. I put $20,000 into it basically. And, you know, I had $10,000 in the bank when I started. $10,000. And we got so close to being so broke, like we almost weren't able to pay our mortgage for a month. And, but, you know, the check started rolling in and it worked out. We didn't have any problems. Nothing bad happened. We didn't break a transmission. We didn't break a motor. You know, we didn't break a rear end or nothing like that. So it worked for us. We got lucky in that sense. All I started with was $10,000. And, you know, it was slim. It was slim. Right now, we got like 60,000 in the bank, you know, and I would never want anything less than that in the bank because, you know, the more money you have, the less stress you have, you know, because you're thinking constantly in your head, well, if this breaks, how am I going to pay for it? Well, if this breaks, how am I going to pay for it? But at the same time, when you have lower money, you have a harder drive to go find work. I mean, it does really work like that, you know, like it's hard to motivate yourself sometimes when you have all that money sitting in the bank. Okay, let's go to these questions. Does the strong arm really let you haul that much more weight? Richard, yes, it definitely makes you more of a, it gives you more capacity to work. There's more work for there's a higher demand is what I'm trying to say. There's a higher demand for trucks that can haul more weight in a shorter distance. Because like a regular truck can only haul 15 tons. You know, a triaxle can only haul 15 tons. This truck can haul 24 to 25 tons, right? So I'm hauling basically almost double the weight, but I'm not costing the customer double the cost. And that's why they want super dumps in Washington. Okay. Brian, what's up? Tell Pat I said hi. He said you guys work together. I'm available Monday. Let me know if you need help with a solo truck. Compass Zone. Pat MTG. You mean PMG, Pat? I'm not sure who MTG is. Compass. How many tons per load? In this truck, we're hauling 24 to 25. In my solo truck, we're hauling around 15 and a half. Is it better to lease or buy a new truck? Brian, that's a great question. Yeah, don't touch that. That's Brandon's. He dropped it out of his lunchbox. We'll save that for Brandon. He forgot his musketeers. That's a sad day. Let's see, where was I? Is it better to lease or buy a new truck? Brian. Brian, I'm not sure yet, but I know leasing is very expensive. Very expensive. It is the most expensive way to buy a vehicle, leasing. And is it less risky to lease? Yes, it's less risky, but you pay more in the long run. You pay more for less risk because you're not doing any maintenance on the thing, right? They cover the maintenance, so you're paying for that perceived maintenance cost. Also, another thing, I'm not 100% sure on these things, guys, because I've never really looked into it. But I've heard that you can only put a certain amount of miles on the truck in a certain given time, or they charge you extra, right? So I'm personally never going to do a lease. I bought this truck. Do I kind of wish I never bought it? I've had my moments where I've kind of wish I never bought it. But at the same time, I've had a lot of moments that say, Brian, do not stress. Things are going to work out. Look at your numbers. Look at what you're doing. This far this month, we've already brought in $25,000 this month alone in May, which has never happened for me, ever. May is normally like a $10,000 to a $15,000 month, right? So, boom. You know, the numbers tell me I'm doing okay. I'm doing the way I'm supposed to be going, you know? Let's go back here. We had a truck and pup haul for us at 135 an hour. He hauled 31 tons. Yep. I don't know who was hauling for 135 an hour, but that seems real cheap. I think the truck TNT rate is 145, I think. Okay, makes sense. Don't see them in Ohio much. Yeah, PMG, that's right. From Maple Valley. Okay. Yeah, I haul with Pat all the time. I love that guy. He's so funny. Like, he is literally one of the funniest guys ever. And he was also the guy that got me my first day of work and kept me busy my first month, roughly. I consider that guy my mentor, you know, in the dump truck world. Like, he got me through my first day with no mess ups, you know, and made me look like I knew what I was doing. You know, he did not have to do that. He went the extra mile. I love Pat. You know, that guy is a rock star in my book. So what'd Pat tell you? He said, what's up? Tell Pat I said hi. He said, you guys work together. I'm available Monday. Let me know if you need help with the solo truck. Okay. Where are you out of, Compass Zone? And what's your company name? And what kind of truck you got? Need to start double shifting that truck. Yeah, I'd like to. Every day he makes sure there are no leaks on the system. Pressures are fine. Everything zip tied and greased so everything works smooth. Have always greased weekly. Okay. How do you check like the pressures and stuff, Jen? Is there like a gauge or something you guys have, or how do you check that? Like checking the pressure of like the nitrogen, or what are you checking the pressure of? Like, I don't know if there's a way to check that on my whatever this computer thing is. I don't know what it's called. I'm just gonna call it a computer. Dang, old crony. Be careful you don't start that grass fire, man. Things are starting to dry out there. A 2020 Peterbilt 348 up here in Canada. I was quoted $2,300 a month to lease. Okay. 348. What's the 348? What's the 348? And Brian, so $2,300 a month to lease, and then at the end of the lease, how much are you gonna pay for the truck? Right? That's where they get you. If you want to buy the truck at the end of the lease, they take you to the bank. I mean, they take you to the cleaners, is from what I've heard. I don't know. But Blake had that same question not too long ago, and I told him all the stuff I just told you guys. Like, yes, they take care of the maintenance, but here's the other thing. They'll take care of the maintenance on their time, on their schedule. Not your schedule, their schedule. So if you want something fixed ASAP, you're doing it yourself, or you're paying somebody to do it yourself, because they may be like, well, you know, we can't get to that for another week. We might be able to give you another truck to run until then, or they might just say you're out of luck, you know. And then I had a buddy, Nolan. He leased a truck, and he had a problem with the transmission. It was an automatic transmission, and there was a problem. They could not fix the problem, and he was constantly having downtime. Thank you, son. Can you do me a favor? You want to put this, grab it just like that. Put that on there. That's the air freshener Daddy put in here to make it smell nice. Let's see. He says things are drying now as it's raining. Yeah, I mean, trust me, work life, things are drying out. We had a week of rain, yes, but the grass is getting dry. It's gonna rain soon here in Arkansas, let it rain, we need it. Or you could just lease another new truck once the lease is done, always keeping your trucks new. So, yes, you can do that, Brian, but in the long run, it costs more, right? You have less risk, but it costs more, right? You keep less of the profits because, so yes, for the first 5 years, I'm paying $4,000 a month. I get that. And you're only paying $2,000. But guess what? After 6 years and I still got the same truck, it's all profit. All, you know, after 5 years, it's all profit after then. So the first 5 years are harder. Unless you pay it off quicker, then it's all profit. You know what I mean? And if you take care of your equipment, it's going to last a long time. You know, everybody says, oh, after 10 years, a dump truck's garbage. No, that's not true, right? I'm driving a 35-year-old dump truck. So if that dump truck can last 35 years, why can't this one? Yes, they make them different. They definitely do, but you can still buy stuff. Okay, so let's... Jeez Louise. That sounds pretty cheap, Brian. Is there HST on top? What's HST? Also, another thing that they'll do is they'll make you have a higher insurance, I believe. Need to put vanilla in there. I hate black ice. Okay, Brandon. We'll get you covered on that. But hey, man, I was trying to do the right thing, man. I bought a whole bunch of them. We'll get you the vanilla ones. We'll put these ones in my truck. I didn't know you didn't like that flavor. Yeah, Pat's a great guy. I worked on several jobs with him, but not so much lately. I'm in Linwood. I got a 4-axle 359, so tried to stay busy with solo before I needed to pull the trigger for a TNT. Okay, so you're a little bit further up north. Yeah, dude, I haven't heard from Pat in probably 4 months, man. The guy just dropped off the radar. Like, I don't know if he's trying to retire or what, but he has not answered any of my calls. The idiot light for the nitrogen. He makes sure that stays off. He has a manual gauge in the cab for hydraulic pressure on the hydraulic system. See, I don't have any of that, Jen, on my truck that I know of. I don't have a light for the nitrogen. I don't have a gauge for the okay, I do have a gauge for the hydraulic pressure. It's on the bottom of the computer screen. It says what the hydraulic pressure is. Kenworth will pay you for your downtime if you're broke down for an extended period. If you have a lease, Gearhead, dude, that sounds like pretty sweet right there. But getting them to actually pay is probably another question, right? How do you prove how much money you lost? That's a good question. I've seen you once on a job in West Seattle. I was on my blue Compass Peterbilt truck, Compass Property Service. Yeah, man, I might remember your truck if I seen it, but it's not bringing any bells. I've seen so many trucks, man. Every time I see a truck drive by, I'm looking at who it is. I'm seeing who's working and who ain't, you know. I will send you the specs on the truck on Messenger. Okay. HST is 13% tax in Canada. Who is Pat? Pat is the guy that basically helped me start my business by giving me work. Like, Corey was the guy that told me to call Pat, and Pat was like, okay, this is your first day? And I'm like, yeah, it's my first day. And he's like, first day, like first day as in never hauled nothing? And I'm like, yeah, first day as in never hauled nothing. He's like, okay. You know, and he gave me the game plan. And then, you know, he was just like, okay, here's the pit. You know, he basically helped me. Like, I should be writing that guy a check right now. Be like, hey, Pat, thank you so much for everything you've done. But I've given him so much work now that I feel like I don't really need to do that. I've given him a lot of work just because he helped me out so much. Pat's one of the first guys I call when there's extra work. in which age you had your first son? How old was I when I had you? You're 5. I'm 30. I was 25. Pat is PMG excavating. Pat and Melinda. PMG. Pat, Melinda, and Grady. How much do you pay on insurance a month on a single truck yearly? Nick, that's an excellent question. When I first started my business, it was $10,000 that first year. And they wanted $6,000 or $5,000 up front for the first 6 months. And then about 6 months in, my buddy was like, "You're paying 10 grand a year?" He's like, no. Check this guy out. Boom. I got hooked up. It was 6,000, like 500 or something like that for the rest of the first year, right? So it ended up being like 3,000 a month, 3,000 every 6 months, was like $2,000 cheaper. And they didn't charge me for COI, certificate of insurance, right? Now my insurance is a lot higher. It's $1,500 a month because I got a new truck. I also got insurance on the excavators, all that extra coverage. My insurance burden is like $20,000 a year right now. It's freaking nuts. I'm paying $20,000 a year in insurance, and that's not including my auto insurance and that type of stuff. Do you know anything about Olsen Bros excavating? Bobby, the only thing I know is that they park their trucks at MSA and Roy. I don't really know anything about them. I know they have some nice trucks and they got some super dumps. But I've never worked for them. I don't know anybody who's worked for them that they've told me or anything like that. I bet they're a great company to work for, but I don't really know anything about them. I'd like to get to know them more. Oh, you were young and you're still young. Yes, I am very young. We have never insured our machines and never need it either. I saw their machines down at Point Reston, just curious. Yeah, I put insurance on my machines for vandalism, fire, and theft. Because I started parking them down in Shelton, right? And if somebody steals my radiator, or they vandalize it, I'm not paying for that. The insurance is going to pay for that, And so, my insurance for the excavators is very cheap. It's like, what is it? I think it's like $500 a year or something like that, or $50 a year. It's pretty cheap, the insurance for that. So I was okay with paying that. I just got a text message from somebody. Oh, Brian. Okay, Brian, I'll check that out once we get off here. Brandon, are you still on the live stream? If you're still on the live stream, say something. And then, ba-ding, yeah. Okay, hey, just tell everybody your experience about washing truck. Make sure, just tell them that I did not force you to wash the truck for free. Because everybody seems to think that I'm forcing you to wash the truck for free. Which, I did not do that, You don't got to tell them what I paid you or nothing. You don't need to say nothing about that. But, just tell them that I did not force you to wash the truck off the clock for free. Because I got some people saying, "Oh, Brian, you're a cheap bastard because you're not paying him to wash the truck and this and that." My dad had water on the seat of our dozer in July. Turns out that neighbors did not like we're doing the work. Turns out it was piss. Oh, woo! Dude, if I ever caught somebody peeing on my seat, I would be suing them. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Yeah, I seen it, Brian. I got the ba-ding. Figured out dump site for Friday, Walworth Yard. Rock on, Bobby. We're still good for Friday then. Negative. That's a negative. I said I would stay after and wash it. It's the truck I drive every day. Gotta take care of it. Amen. Right there. You heard it from him. Price is $153,000. Is that like a used truck, or what is it? Brian, give me some information about it while we're on the live stream so we can discuss it a little bit more. And while you guys are on here, don't forget to pound that like button and pound that subscribe button for all you new guys that are just checking out the channel. Right, son?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to have to... So, you said he likes vanilla. Is it the same company that makes these ones? The vanilla one? I'm going to put these in my truck. Brand spanking new. Okay. It's brand new. And it's probably just a truck then. It's not a trailer. It's just probably just a solo truck. We'll get the vanilla ones in here if that's what you want. Any plans to get bigger equipment trailer? Oh, wait. Any plans on getting a bigger equipment trailer? I got a 20-ton tilt deck. Yeah, maybe. I could possibly go for something a little bit bigger. Eventually, I'd like to get a lowboy eventually. You know, I was talking to Brandon and saying, you know, one day I'd like to be able to buy the equipment that lowboys haul, you know. We saw a brand new dozer today. I'm like, man, that's like $1 million dozer sitting there. You know, one day will I be that big? Dude, I really hope so. That'd be so cool. Like, yeah. Cook with us. Hello, please watch my first video. What's it about? If it's about cooking, I'm probably not going to watch it. Cook with us. Unless it's like something that possibly interests me. Go take a peek later. Okay, I'll go take a peek later, Brian. Several years ago, we left a burn pile to get lunch. Neighbor said he would watch it and come back to a bunch of tires on the pile that rolled some coal. Yeah, it did, work life. I've burned a tire in my day, and you got to have the fire super hot not to burn, not to roll some coal. I didn't know that. So you can haul a 14-ton excavator. Yeah, easily. Yep. Yep, I can haul a 14-ton excavator. I haul my 120 all the time. And that's 26,000 pounds. So that's basically, you know, that size. I hauled a Komatsu 139. Was it a 139 or a 130? I can't remember if it was a 139 or a 130, but it was, I could tell it was maxing. It wasn't really maxing the trailer as much as it was maxing my truck. The old Peterbilt was grunting. You could tell she was working for her money that day. A 138. Yeah, 138. Okay. Yummy vegetarian is comedy. I'm fantastic. Yeah, I'm not a vegetarian type of guy. If it's some satire like J.P. Sears, I'll watch it. That guy, I laugh my butt off every time I watch that guy. He's so funny. We haul a 20-ton excavator on a 3-axle tilt top trailer. 138. Okay. Okay. I love purple guy. What? Sweet. I guess I know who to have haul my iron now. And I'm probably a lot cheaper than everybody else too, Bobby. I normally don't charge my hourly rate. I just do like a bid, like say, but here's the thing though, like it's, you know, I'm cheaper but it's also I'll get to it when I'm not busy type of thing, like unless we schedule it ahead of time, but I try not to turn down a full day's worth of work for moving a machine, if you get what I'm saying, you know what I mean? So if there's something I can do, like haul it on a weekend or at night or something like that, definitely, but I'm not trying to give up a full day's worth of work to haul a machine for $200, you know what I'm saying? Or $100. I've done that a few times, and every time I do it, I kick myself. you know? But yeah. I've also stored a guy's machine at my place for a week. And while it was here and I was pressure washing my stuff, I washed his too. Don't expect that kind of thing, but if it happens, it happens. When I dropped his excavator off, he was like, "Dude, you cleaned the dirt off the floor?" I'm like, "It happened." He's like, "Okay." And then he gave me like 5-gallon jugs of hydraulic oil because he was just like getting rid of them. He's like, "Here, take them. You need them." He also gave me that slip tank for free, that was in the back of my 69, the small 50-gallon one. So, Oh, yeah, JP Sears equals purple guy. Okay, gotcha now. Yeah, he's hilarious. That guy he's comedy gold. Is the new truck working all next week? I hope so. It's booked for Monday and Friday so far, and possibly another day during the week. So I got 3 days so far, probably next week. I know it's working. It worked today. It's working tomorrow. It's about 7,000 pounds overweight. We haul it on Sunday afternoons. For sure. It's never a rush unless it's a rental. Yep. What do you charge an hour? For which truck? For my small solo, I charge $120 with the 6-hour min. On this truck, $150, 6-hour min. Unless we're buddies, and then if you're giving me more work than what normal, then the rate will be adjusted sometimes. What happened to your Ford IDI? Bobby, I still got it. It's still my daily driver. So the day the truck does not have work, will the new driver stay home, or will he drive your old truck? That's a great question, Jessica. It kind of depends. It kind of depends on how many hours he's got. We're gonna try and see. We're just gonna talk about it and see what happens. I would like to work him first all the time if it's a possibility. I want to make sure he's getting his hours, but on the same time, I got to think about my bottom line, which is paying my bills. He's not the only one that's got to pay bills. So, it depends on how many hours he's got. If he's already worked 40 hours, then chances are I'll probably take it unless I got some other plan where I need to fix something. So it's just, there's nothing set in concrete. He hasn't driven the old truck yet. Before he does have to drive it, I do want to give him kind of a course, running through all the quirks and everything of the truck, tell him everything that he's got to know before he drives it. So it doesn't get messed up, cause that truck, is my pride and joy. That truck is what made my business successful. That truck means it means more to me than this new truck does. And I know a lot of people won't understand that, but that's how I feel. That old truck is very special to me. Nice. Thanks for the tips, Brian. How many days a week does that new truck have to work for it to stay in the black? What do you mean by that? Stay in the black? Detroit, slam your hand in the door and run it like you mad. Exactly. Slam your finger in the door when you get in. That's the way you do it, you know? I'm the same way with my 1978 Ford 250. I mean, they say you're not supposed to get sentimental, but I'm sentimental with it. What are you doing? Get off the fire extinguisher. That costs money, you know? You don't want to be stepping on that. For it to pay all of its own expenses / payment. For me to clear, it's just got to work like, you know, what is it, 4 shifts? You know, 5 shifts would be perfect. If it can haul 5 shifts, you know, so 5 days, it's covered, you know. I mean, it really doesn't need to work anything. As long as one of my truck runs 5 days, I can make all the payments, no problem, you know. So it's not like I'm stressed at all to make the payments. I've already done the math. I can have this truck sit every single day the rest of the year and make all the payments with my other truck, just me working, right? So I'm not worried at all about making the payments on this thing. I've already got a few thousand stashed away, and you know, my goal is to have 100,000 in the bank before the summer's over. Has it started to haul asphalt yet? We did asphalt grindings today. I did like the first 2 loads. Brandon did the second 2 loads. He did a good job. You know, and yeah, it was the first time ever hauling grindings in it. Did great. Freaking sweet. This truck is geared pretty low, so you know, when you're moving along with the grinder, this truck does better than my other Solo. My other Solo seems like it's geared a little bit faster. You have to slip the clutch a little bit more than this truck. You know, so the one thing that is difficult with the Super Dump, one of the guys wanted me to raise the box up a little bit so he could see in it better. But this truck will not raise up if the strong arm is down any bit at all. It will not do it. So, unless maybe you manually override it somehow. Like you put the box up and then you manually override it in there, which I'm not going to take the time to do that. You know, I'll just be like, no, the box don't go up when the arm's down. You know, that's what I told the guy. He's like, okay, you know. So, you know, he just loaded it until he could see the stuff mounting up in the back, you know, which we were still underweight. We were only like 67,000, right? So they didn't even overload us at all. I'm guessing because they didn't fill the corners of the box, right? Some trucks, you know, they look like they're not full and they're overweight. My truck is not that way. What's going on there, Brian? I'm late to the live stream. What's up, Wayne? Not much is going on. How many tons does a super haul versus a normal Solo? My Solo dump truck hauls 15.5 tons to 16 tons. The super dump truck hauls 24 tons. Will I get a pup for either truck? Probably not. It just doesn't make any sense to buy a pup, Bobby, for me. Because here's why. Like, my old truck makes $120 an hour. If I buy a pup trailer for it, which it would be more ideal to buy a pup trailer for my old truck, but because it's an old truck, I'm not buying a pup trailer for it. Like, I don't want to stress the motor out more than I already am, you know? And all the drivetrain and everything else. Like, it's set up for a pup, yes, but no, I'm not doing it with my old truck. This truck, it would handle a pup trailer a lot better. But the problem is they want $70,000 for a tandem axle pup. Not happening. Not happening. We are not buying a tandem axle pup for $70,000. When you can go on Craigslist and you look at all the tandem axle pups and they're selling for $1,000 because nobody wants one. Walworth bills $150 for a truck and pup. Can you haul a pup with a super? Okay, so this particular truck is set up to haul a pup trailer. It's called a Supermax, right? There are very few super dumps that are set up to haul pup trailers. This is one of them, right? It's already set up from the factory to haul a pup trailer legally. It's already got all the pup stuff, right? It's got the drawbar. It's got the trailer lock gate. It's got the trailer tarp. It's got the trailer pup up. Yep, so it's got all this. It's already set up, but I'm not buying a $70,000 pup trailer when I don't get to charge any more money, right? I don't get to charge more if I buy a pup. And the problem is the resale for the pup is going to be zero. You have to have a super dump that's set up exactly like this to want that particular pup trailer. So it's a specialty thing. I'm not buying it. If I did more excavation work myself and it made sense because I needed to haul the weight, then that's the only way I would be able to justify me buying a pup trailer for this. Like saying, okay, I'm buying a super dump because it can haul more in a smaller space, but if I ever do have a big job, then I can put a trailer behind it and haul that extra 7 tons, which, there's that. So I don't really think it's worth it to pay $70,000 for a pup trailer that I'm probably never going to use. For one, because I can get paid the same as a truck and pup without it. And I don't got to pay for the licensing. I don't got to pay for the registration. I don't got to pay for that extra tonnage. I don't got to pay for that extra fuel. I'm already making $150. The only thing I would be doing is opening up more of a possibility to stay busy. Which I don't really need to stay more busy. I'm busy enough. Okay. We haul our pup with our super. Thought of buying a used pup for it. I would pay more. You would pay more for what? The super dump or for the solo? I can't believe you don't get to charge more with a pup. We use our pup to haul gravel to stock our yard in-house. See, that makes sense, work life. That makes sense. I would pay $180 at least for a super and pup for export of all this light fluffy crap we export. But see, here's the problem though, Bobby. Like, okay, why not just hire a truck and trailer then instead of a super dump and a pup? Because we can't haul the same amount as a truck and pup. We haul just a little bit less. It's like, let's see, 24 plus 7. 24. That's what, 31? I think a truck and pup can haul like 35, 34 or something like that. They can haul like 1 or 2 more tons, right? So, it still doesn't really pan out. I would still have less of a demand than somebody hiring a truck and pup. I don't know. And it would be a real pain in the butt to load a truck and pup because, like, okay, so I'm not the one driving this, right? My driver's driving it. So he would have to remember, okay, I'm hauling a pup trailer. Don't put the strong arm all the way down because you got to put the strong arm, you got to flop it over in order to get loaded, right? If he forgets and it goes down and crushes against the reach, that's big money. That's expensive money right there you just spent, And then, whenever you have to go under a silo to get loaded, you got to put the arm down. It just seems like it would be a real pain. I don't know. It just doesn't seem worth it to me right now. Maybe 5 years down the road, I'll change my mind and I'll buy one. But as of right now, I'm hauling 24 tons. I'm charging basically what the truck and trailers are charging. So with less cost. 180 is a lot of money, Bobby. That's a lot of money right there. Every state's different. We can haul about 40 to 41 ton legally. Dang, Jen. That's a lot more than we can haul. Yeah, we can only haul a total of 105.5. That's all they'll let us do here in Washington. Super plus pup only seems to make sense for light materials. Yeah. But see, the thing with the pup is when you're hauling a pup, this truck you can't haul the same as you can normally haul because you can't put the strong arm down. So it's only basically like a simple 16 with a trailer. Like I got the 3 drop axles, but you have to remember I got the additional weight because of the strong arm on the back. So, you know, the light fluffy stuff, yes, you can haul more with the pup, but I mean, you could still haul more. Well, actually, you could haul more like you're saying, the light fluffy stuff. You could haul more in this truck than a simple 16 because it's bigger, right? It's taller. Tons is never the issue. Yards is. I can barely get half the legal weight in a truck when I fill it to the brim. I hadn't thought about the arm. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of other things, you know, that just, I don't know. I see what you're saying though. Tons isn't the issue because you're normally export like light fluffy dirt or, you know, that type of stuff. You know, my solo, they got to pack all 4 corners for me to be in weight. How much you haul in the old Pete? I haul 15 and a half tons. That's what I normally haul. But, you know, when I'm getting loaded on a job site, when I'm taking it places, I normally average around 54,000 is what my gross weight is normally. So they're a few thousand underweight. They normally don't load it completely to the weight. And I'm never the guy that says, oh man, you're overloading me. I don't do that, right? Because I want to be called back the next day. Like the guys that are always like, oh, you're over, my truck's overweight. Those guys, you don't see them the second day. I'm just an excavator, so take that with a grain of salt. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know everything, dude. I don't know like half the stuff I should know. You know, I'm just learning too, you know, so we're both in the same game, you know, basically. Right?
Yeah.
We're both learning.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, and you're learning all the business stuff, aren't you? Yep. Yep, so, man, we got the truck all fogged up today. I want to take care of my truckers, but if they complain all day about weight, they won't be back. You heard it from the man himself. How much is a triaxle legal for in Washington? I haul 56,000 is what I'm licensed for. 56,000. That's what I pay tonnage for. 56,000 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating. Gross vehicle combined weight or something like that. 61 in NC. Yeah, I mean, there's some places I don't understand it.
It's cloudy,
like,
Daddy.
huh?
It's cloudy.
It's cloudy, huh? Yeah. There's some places that you can take a tandem or a triaxle and load it to like 80,000 pounds. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. How do you do that? You know? I can't wait for you to get a tractor and end dump / low bed setup. Dude, me too, Bobby. That would be freaking sweet, you know? I really do want to go that route too. It's definitely gonna happen eventually, you know, but it's gonna be a while. The priorities my wife has, priorities I have, you know, we got to get our house built, we got to get the shop built, we want it paid for, and then after it's paid for, Then we start expanding the business. How's the Shelton project going? It's going pretty sweet. We got our driveway basically roughed in. We need to put probably about 40 more tons of rock down, maybe 50 more tons. And then, well, yeah, maybe a little bit more than that. Probably 200. If we put 200 more tons, then I'll be satisfied with the driveway. I love the high side end dumps for excavating. It works so well for your sites. There are two types of end dumps. Driver, those who have rolled one, and those who will. Yeah, Maryland is like that with triaxles, and I wonder how the heck do they stop those trucks with all that weight? Yeah, I don't even understand it, Wayne. Like, they don't have any hills, apparently. It ain't Washington. I know that. You know, they must not have any bridges. They must not have, you know, either that or their triaxles are just like twice the length of ours. That's the only thing I can think of. You can drive the end dump, Brian. I'm okay with the super. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to drive end dump. I don't know about end dump. I might want one, but I don't. Dude, it is sketchy putting those things in the air. That's only true with the half frame styles. I like the full frame separate dump box and dumps like in Europe. There's plenty of hills and bridges. You learn to downshift and always run the Jake on high. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but so how are their roads that much better than ours? Or is our government just trying to rip us off over here? You know, that's what I want to know. Like, I guess I'm not complaining because we haul less, which means the work goes on longer, which means we make more money. But in turn, that means the customer gets charged more from the excavator because they already know it's going to take longer, right? So I don't know. Trust me, the West Virginia roads suck. Their subgrade is harder, so more heft does less damage to the roads. Their subgrade is harder. That makes sense, Bobby. That makes sense. You know, they must have like hard pan, like a foot under the ground or something, you know, over there or something. Who knows? Wait, talking about Midwest. Yeah, just other than Washington, I know that. Like the guys that are hauling like 80,000 pounds in a triaxle. Like their box must be like 15 feet tall. That's the only way you could ever get that much weight in a box, like that I can see. Like my box would never haul 80,000 pounds. There's no way you could get it to weigh that much. It would be overflowing at like 65,000 probably. Overflowing. Like there's no way you could put more weight in that truck than that. There's no way. It wouldn't hold it. Wayne, I have hauled coal in Maryland. Not much fun there either. Our new truck has a 25-yard struck capacity. Any Bigfoot sightings in your area? No, I haven't seen any lately. They've been staying away with the whole coronavirus thing and the protests. They disappeared. How many miles does the new truck have on it now? It's got 3,000, I think, or 2,000. I think it's 3,000. I've been in Maryland a few times, and it's a neighboring state, and the parts I've been in are relatively flat, and the trucks are not that long. The bodies are tall and look to be 16 foot. We saw a crow with a fry in its mouth. That was interesting. Yes. So we seen this massive sculpture of a crow, basically like the size of this dump truck, with a McDonald's French fry in its mouth, and like a McDonald's thing with French fries kind of laying out on the side. It was the weirdest thing. We also seen an ostrich when we were driving down through downtown Auburn. Craziness. I've ran in PA a lot. Only allowed 73,200 there, but it's not bad, Wayne. Man, that just seems like so much weight. Like, okay, I'm hauling 80,000 in this. Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I can see it now. Now that I compare, you know, if because my super dump's like 4 feet longer than the Solo I got, and it definitely sits up higher. Yeah, I can see hauling 80.
They're massive, Dad.
My W990 is about to turn 67,000 miles on it in Monday. I got this truck in October last year. Wayne, does that have the PACCAR MX-13 in it? I can't remember if your truck had that in it. What motors it got in it? I feel sorry for the frame rails on those trucks. Amen to that, Work Life. They must be way thicker than what we got here. I mean, like, they got to be like, you know, half-inch or something. And I was hearing that their rear ends are like 56,000 pound rear ends, that type of thing. Have you had any problems with it yet, Wayne? How many miles on the 85 Pete? It's an 85 Pete. It's so the odometer doesn't work, but it's at 450,000 something miles. The hour meter's at 89,000 hours. And since I have bought in the truck, I have put 40,000 miles on it. Since I have bought it. So who knows how many miles are on? Probably 1.5 million. Probably 1 million. Let me clarify, guys. I'm talking about rolling across the scale at that weight, not pulling 73,000 on truck. Hope I didn't confuse. Okay, so Jacob, what's the lightweight of those trucks? How much do they weigh when they're empty? What's the tare weight? We got 54 rears and a 20,000 pound front. See, on my truck, I got 46,000 pound rears and a 20,000 pound front. On my old Pete. Mine are... So your truck's 27,000 pounds empty. Dang, that's a heavy truck. See, that's 2,000 pounds heavier than my truck. I'm looking for a C500 right now to set up with a low bed and short high side end dump. I could pull away from our new truck with the same motor and the Allison. Wait, I can pull away from our new truck with the same motor and the Allison. So you're saying the Allison is faster, Wayne? Yes, it is. Yeah, Jacob, your trucks are way heavier than ours because, like, my truck only weighs like 24,700. You know, roughly 25,000 with all my junk in it. You know, and so you're sitting at 27. How much did you say you were sitting at? You said you were sitting at. I missed it. Where the heck did it go? Basically 28,000, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So 3,000 pounds heavier. Dang. Those are some heavy trucks.
Yep.
I worked on a W990 today at work. It was a double frame. Yep. Its frame was at least 1 inch thick frame. Yep. Holy smokes. 1 inch thick? That's nuts. That is nuts. But that's crazy. Is you haul 15 tons. I haul 24.5 all day. I don't get it, I guess. Yeah, and the funnier part about that is, Jacob, is I make more money hauling less with my truck. That's the funny part, dude. You guys are hauling 25 tons and getting paid like 95 bucks an hour. And we're over here hauling 15 and making 120. Does your truck have airbags on the drivers? No. Negative, David. Dave, we got springs on the front and we got rubber pads on the back on this one, and we got springs on the front and springs on the back on my 85. The C500s are 1.25 inch thick frame rails. Holy cow, Bobby. That's nuts. Yeah, it does suck for you guys, Jacob. It does suck. You guys must haul year round more than us. We slow down quite a bit in the winter. You know, if it's a good winter, then we're happy, you know. No, I can walk the dog, so to speak, on the brand new TA80 that the boss picked up over the week. It has the same motor as my truck. It just has an Allison in it.
Dogs.
Okay, so you can beat the Allison with your. You got a manual? What? How many speeds you got? 18 speed, 10 speed. What do you got? How much can your truck haul versus what's legal? That's a good question, Bobby. I would guess this truck could haul. When I'm seeing it loaded and it's sitting at 80,000 pounds, I would say it could probably haul 95,000 pounds. I would probably say 95,000. I would guess. Yeah, so the 18 speed's faster than the Allison. It weighed 115,000 pounds. It's a welding truck. Got Norfolk Southern Railway. 27 tons. That's how much you've hauled total in your truck ever, Jessica? Yeah, I bet this truck could haul a lot. 30 tons. I bet it could do 30 tons probably in the bed or close to it. What kind of truck do you got, Jessica? I think that a 6-speed Allison isn't enough gears for a truck that has a gross vehicle weight of 81. I agree, Wayne. They need to make a 10-speed. I agree 100% with that. They need to make a 10-speed for the Allison. 04 T800 C12 430. 400. And what size box you got on there? Or what kind of box? Is it a super dump or is it a triaxle or what is it? Do you ever drive fully loaded with the lift axles up, Dave? Dave, yes, we do all the time. What we do is when we're in the pit, all the drop axles are up, the strong arms up. None of that stuff's on the ground because the trucks are. I think me and Blake talked about this. We talked, and I think the rear axles and the pads and stuff are rated for a static. What is it? Like 65,000 pounds a piece, I think is what me and Blake saw. And so that's like 160,000 pounds that both those rear axles could probably put on them, like static. I think that's what me and Blake were talking about. We were looking at the specs and stuff, and the rubber pads and stuff. What's realistic though? I have no clue. I don't really know. I've never really tested the limits yet on what this could haul. They make a 10-speed Allison, but it's for regional hauling and not vocational. So like long haul or something? Is that what you mean, Wayne? I'm guessing that the reason they don't put more gears in it is because that means that they have to be smaller gears, like they're not as thick, maybe. So they can't handle the torque, maybe, or the horsepower. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Reliance 18-foot box. Anyways, dude, we've been on here for an hour and a half. That's nuts. All right, guys. It's getting late. It's 8:01 here. You guys are, it's probably like 9 and 10 o'clock where some of you guys are. I got to go to bed early. I got to work tomorrow. So I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for, watching the content. You guys are amazing. You guys, I always love your input, except for the trolls. They can go pound sand. Sounds like they need to get back to the drawing board. A good setup here for us would be 355 tiers and a 13 speed at least later. When is the next live stream? I might pop in tomorrow when I'm doing the paving. We'll just kind of see how things go. Not sure yet. Tomorrow's going to be a short day, though. I already know, because we finished the grinding in 4 hours. So the paving is probably going to be a 4-hour day, too. I'm guessing. Unless the weather goes sideways or something. So we'll see what happens. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be a short day. Unless they don't call some people back. But, I'm on the job site. So, we'll see what happens. Are you calling from Miles? No, we're hauling from Icon in Auburn. Well, at least that's what the plan was when we left the job site today. We were hauling the grinding to Icon Auburn, and then they switched it to Lakeside, Covington, and then, then they canceled because of all the thunder and the rain, so now they're switching it back to, I'm guessing we're still hauling out of Icon tomorrow. That's what they told me. So, we'll see what happens. All right. We'll see what happens. You got that right. Hey, thanks for joining me, man. Did you have fun?
Yep.
I know you're kind of bored, but you probably had fun, right? Did you learn anything?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to pound that like button and pound that subscribe button, as always. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.